The world is burning. Wildfires sweep across landscapes that once felt eternal. Oceans rise, storms grow stronger, winters vanish, summers scorch. And beneath the headlines, beneath the images, beneath the statistics, something quiet is growing inside us. Anxiety, eco-anxiety. It is the word we now use to name the dread of living in an age where the earth itself feels fragile. And it is not rare. Recent studies show that 82% of young people report experiencing climate anxiety when they think about the future of the planet. That is not just a number. That is almost an entire generation carrying fear in their chest, a fear that no scroll of the news can calm. Eco-anxiety is not irrational. It is not weakness. It is the natural response of a soul that understands we are bound to this planet. When the earth is sick, we feel it in our bodies. When the forests burn, something inside us burns too. When the future feels uncertain, our hope trembles. This anxiety takes many forms. Sleepless nights replaying images of collapsing glaciers, a sense of guilt every time we consume, buy, travel, a paralysis that whispers, "What's the point?" And perhaps worst of all, a deep grief that lingers as if we are already mourning the loss of a world not yet gone. So how do we live with this weight? How do we hold the truth without drowning in despair? The first step is to name it. Eco-anxiety is real. It is not just a mood, it's a collective condition of our time. By speaking its name, we break the shame, we stop pretending we are unaffected, we admit, yes, I am scared, and in that honesty, something softens. Because loneliness in fear is heavier than fear itself. When we share it, it becomes lighter. The second step is to remember, anxiety is not just fear, it is care. Eco-anxiety exists because we love this planet, because we feel its beauty in our bones, because we long to protect what has given us everything: air, water, food, shelter, wonder. Your anxiety is proof that you are alive to the truth of connection. But care without grounding becomes despair. This is where presence matters. Eco-anxiety often drags us into the future, into terrifying scenarios, into imagined catastrophes. And while those futures must be taken seriously, we cannot live only in what hasn't happened yet. To survive, we must return to the present, to the tree still standing, the river still flowing, the breath still rising in our lungs. Presence does not erase the crisis, but it gives us the strength to face it. Try this. The next time eco-anxiety rises, step outside if you can. Notice something alive, a leaf, a bird, even the soil beneath your feet. Pause and let yourself feel gratitude for that life still here. Not as denial, but as medicine. Because without gratitude for what remains, we lose the will to protect it. The third step is action. Not the grand, heroic action that saves the world overnight, but small, conscious steps that align your life with your values. Plant something, reduce waste in one corner of your day, join a community effort, speak up when silence is easier. These acts will not solve the climate crisis alone, but they transform paralysis into empowerment. They remind you, I am not helpless. And here is the paradox. Action does not just change the world, it changes you. It quiets the anxiety by turning fear into movement, despair into care, grief into responsibility. But beyond action, there is something even deeper: hope. Not naive hope that everything will magically fix itself, not blind hope that denies reality, but resilient hope. The kind that chooses to believe a different future is still possible, even in the face of uncertainty. The kind that says, even if I cannot control the whole, I can live aligned with love here and now. Eco-anxiety is heavy because it forces us to confront our limits. We cannot single-handedly stop the tides or cool the planet, but we can decide how we meet this moment, with despair or with presence, with fear or with love. And perhaps this is the deeper calling of eco-anxiety, to awaken us, to remind us that we are not separate from the earth, that her pain is our pain, that her healing is our healing. The earth is not just the ground we walk on, it is the breath in our lungs, the water in our blood, the rhythm of our days. And when we reconnect with this truth, we discover a strange kind of peace, even in crisis. Because yes, the future is uncertain. Yes, the challenges are immense. Yes, the world feels like it is on fire. But here, in this moment, life is still alive. And as long as life is here, so is the possibility of care. so is the possibility of change, so is the possibility of hope. So, if eco-anxiety is weighing heavy on your chest, pause, breathe, feel your feet on the earth, place a hand on your heart, and remember, you are part of this planet, not separate from it, and your presence, your care, your love, they matter. You may not heal the whole world, but you can heal the piece of it you touch, and in doing so, you heal a piece of yourself. Eco-anxiety is real, but so is resilience, so is community, so is the quiet courage of people everywhere choosing to care, choosing to act, choosing to keep hope alive. The world may be on fire, but within us there is still water, there is still tenderness, there is still the capacity to turn fear into love. And maybe that is how the soul heals in a burning world, not by pretending the flames aren't there, but by becoming the presence that refuses to let them define everything. Because even in fire, life persists, and so can we.